adversity is Brom, Aryan, Lee Sin, and okay, it's gonna
Whoa,
be Mirmo in the blue side now, and they did pick up Kaisa. Chef's kiss. Good
I
decision making
love
right
it.
then and there. I love it. I'm so happy. Problem here is they basically opened Olaf and they basically opened Darius. They could pick up J4 and
Counter.
Gragas. Just get Gragas, please. Don't give it to FENNEL, but it's gonna be a huge problem. Okay, they picked up Pantheon instead. If they're gonna lock that in. Pantheon is still a good administrator. Looks to be follow up. It's gonna be followed up
Hmm.
rather by J4 with the Cataclysm. We'll be able to just lock FENNEL adversity down. But here it is. They picked up Gragas. Good disengage. They are gonna be picking up Corky as well. Seraphine being picked up. Sona being picked up as well. So it's gonna be a 1-3-1. I think.
Maybe.
I mean,
It's a
the girls,
unkillable.
the singers, it's the unkillable Kaisa. I don't know.
Unkillable Kaisa.
Right, right.
It's a new strategy that I don't know how it would work because Kaisa is sort of a champion that comes into the backside with the killer instinct. So I think Seraphine and Sona should run if they want to catch up onto the killer instinct of Kaisa to put him onto those healing sustainability plus that movement speed potential, right? So this is gonna be an interesting pick here for Murmo Esports. I think they mentioned a while ago, right? They practiced the Seraphine, Sona, the quote-unquote healing galing as they called it with this strategy. Maybe they are proficient with these two champions of Seraphine, Sona that we haven't seen thus far because in day number one they lost with this composition. But this might change things a bit. This may change the pacing, and this might change with how this game is gonna go for Murmo Esports.
All right, right off the bat, I love this. I love the composition that Mirmo is gonna be showing us this game number two. Still have to check their laning though, because Seraphine and Sona, you can't separate them. You know, Sona plays the music, Seraphine sings. So there's that. So I was right, it's gonna be a 1-3-1. You have J4 looking at the jungle, Donna is gonna be power. Asserting dominance in the early game, you also have Oriana just popping in with her trinkets here and there. Sona lurking at the side. It's gonna be Kaisa, Yauhan, alone at the Baron lane. Just leave Kaisa alone. I guess she's gonna farm in the early game. A lot of pressure is gonna be on the side of Emperor and XTXP solely because obviously they're the initiators. The rest is just gonna follow through. I guess a lot of ultimates from Pantheon is gonna be important for Mirmu. My only concern though here is if Rafi has one good explosive cast, it's over. That's it. Like a lot of resources will be committed by Mirmo only to get negated, only to get nullified by one explosive cast. So let's see how will they be able to
Mhm.
pull through in game number two.
And as you stated, Rafi with the ultimate, you have a lot more engage afterwards. Darius can hook from power, Domin can follow through that sustainability DPS, Shaw can use the shockwave, Danny can use a special delivery or the Valkyrie to give slow or the knockback. So I think this is really going to be based on Rafi playing around his champion on that engage, disengage ultimate. And on top of all that, a quick point onto Danny as well. This is going to be the first time that we see him play on Corki. So how is he proficient with this champion? Is he the best Corki player in the world aside from Kaisa being played all throughout the series?
Ooh, that's gonna be Mirmu. Just being at the front line, beat job isn't connect. Will be able to farm this one quickly. Power has no other choice to either go with one pickup or just let his turret to die. But in retrospect, looking at the dragon lane, his teammates is a-okay. They could just go with the trace or they can still get pick off. No one basically died yet in this game. But Mirmo is gonna focus on taking down the turret. Power does not have Noxian Guillotine just yet. So he is just forced to play this one out conservatively because on top of the pokes and the CC, they have a lot of heals coming out from these two performers.
Right, and just the sustainability just forces out power to just stay away from these composition from Murmo Esports. So I commend how these two teams are playing because in the patch 2 or something similar or even before then, you have the changes in the turrets wherein if there is more players trying to bring it down, the defense or the defense actually increases. So I think having only 2 members going for the tier 1 third top lane for Murmur Esports is a good thing. And FENNEL University does the same thing in the bot lane. So now that's a 1-for-1 with Murmur taking the tower first blood.
True, they're just to focus on the objective game. No fights just yet, but we did see a shockwave coming through from Shaw. He was just poking Emperor's life here and there. Already has Roa 3 minutes in. Now for Danny, he is just gonna focus on the D ward, again clear out the wave. You have Rafi at the side though. I think Johan could go back or wait for J4 and Pantheon to join the party before picking any fight.
Right, and I think that's just a patience game right now, especially with 30 seconds remaining for both the Infernal Drake and the Rift Herald to come up. These are so valuable as an objective for these two teams because
Uh-huh.
Infernal Drake is probably one of the highest priority, if not the highest priority, of all the four elements of dragons in
True.
this game right now because of how much damage it provides. 6% for your team, it scales out even further in mid game, late game, where your base AD and AP is also scaling.
Scuttler will be secured by Mirmo. For Infernal Jake is already up, but you also have the other members of an adversity slowly pouring into the Dragon Pit. Shaw is looking at the table. Are they gonna go with the kill? Is he gonna jump in? You also have the Cascade with you, but Butima was able to get the Infernal Jake. You have the Crescendo being popped in and there. Are gonna connect up the three. The charms are gonna come through, but for an adversity, they are holding out just fine. The sustain is right there. You also have Domeg pushing through the front lines. Double kill going over to Olaf. Kaisa gets bursted down. Triple kill going over to Olaf in the early game. I do not like that. That's scary, okay? I have to say it then and there. XDXP is gonna pop the flag in Jag just to survive against Power. Aside from getting a triple kill, aside from winning that team fight, FENNEL will be able to get the first outer mid lane turret. That is going to be the ultimate coming from Pantheon. Will be able to land a stun onto one. Kaisa coming through with the Void Seeker. Kill is going to go over to MIRM0000 Esports. Red Team though was able to get Rift Herald at the expense of Power's life. I think that's okay. I mean, sacrificial lamb here and there.
I mean, at least MIRM0000 Esports got credit on getting maybe the push in, but still, I think this is the problem with putting Olaf as a free hitter, just outscaling everyone, getting the triple kill. This is just too much, and XDXP really
It
just
is.
needs to sustain his ultimate for dumbing alone. Even if you don't lock in onto show, he has flash, he has ghost, he can maybe dash away, he can sustain himself. But Dameng is someone that you need to respect, especially right now. 3-0-0 champion that has pretty much every top gold for FENNEL adversity in this game with Black Cleaver already locked in, Rift Herald and Gargoyle Enchant. He is attack and a damage dealer at the same time.
Yep, and that's just, I guess that's the plan that Final Adversity has coming into game number two. Just let Domeng scale. That's already a check. Have 2k goal lead. That is also a check. Get as much threats as they can. Viola, Exhibit A. You have Repel being someone at the Brown. Let us be outer turret for the Brown side, down for MIRM0000 Esports, and Final Adversity. They are gonna steal the buff against XDXP and then pick a fight. I mean, Dominic is his focus. He does have Ragnarok. It's even the Gatling gun coming through. Will they jump in? Will they not? They're waiting for MIRM0000 to actually respond. Encore and Crescendo is available. You also have the Cataclysm up. You also have Killer Instinct up. But MIRM0000 is just gonna opt with playing this one out safely.
They just have to play the distant game because one wrong mistake or one wrong step rather for any of these two teams, MIRM0000 Esports trying to go for the counter attack with the Rift Herald push for FENNEL adversity can lead them into an Olaf going for the Ragnarok, getting those kills up and running for their team and actually getting the security onto the tier 2 turret top lane. And at the same time, if FENNEL adversity rushes in, Jarvan 4 has his ultimate ready and can lock into a lot of champions, especially if they dive under the tier 2. So I think
Uh-huh.
this respect from these two teams are this important. And these two teams know the stakes right now. FENNEL University, if they win this, they're still gonna remain at the top of the leaderboards right now for the group,
Yes.
for the respective group. And MIRM0000 Esports, if they lose this, they're gonna remain with no Series 1. So really, it's just so much stakes right now.
A lot definitely in stake. A lot is on the table. Stakes just keep on getting higher. The more seconds, the more minutes we see, or more minutes that is gonna pass in this game. XCX, we're not sure if he's gonna connect with the drag there, but he does let down the flag. Next dragon is gonna be up in 27 seconds. Graga's already lurking at the sides just to make sure that there's no one from the blue side lurking. Just the barrel exploding already hurts Mirmo. He was forced to use his heal there. Pantheon being zoned out by Darius basically, and you still have Sona alongside J4 at the mid lane. FENNEL, they actually placed a lot of wards in the map. Like, look at that. Not much ward, if not none at all, for the side
Yeah,
of
no.
Mirmo.
Right. No information means that you don't have any clue on where Fennel University is. And right now, flank is happening from tower.
Beat drop not connecting, but you know what else? The killer is coming through, and the very least Yaohan was able to get one. FENNEL, are they gonna fall back? Are they gonna fight that? It's gonna be Pantheon jumping in. They're gonna focus on the Drake, but there's enough Corky with the Missile Barrage. It's gonna be the Valkyrie connecting. That is also gonna be the counter not connecting not much champions. You also have the Crescendo coming through. Patrick's being taken down. Alright, does get person down. Gargas being just disseminated by the Seraphine, and Mira will have first dibs on this dragon. You have Domeng, you still have Danny, but Domeng was forced to flash out. They are very low. Mirmo Esports, their lives are blinking. You have Gatling gun from Corky. I don't think they should pick this fight. This was a good decision. After getting Dragon, just go back.
It started with Power going for a flank. Why was he there is the question, right? Because Fennel University still hasn't gotten the dominance into the riverbed, still hasn't gotten the initial setup onto that team fight, and Power just came through face first in that danger, and Yao Han has his ultimate up, which just enabled Murmur Esports to get the kill on Power with Power already not available for Fennel University. They lost this frontliner, and Gragas and Olaf was pretty much the only one who can defend Shaw and Danny. And Murmur Esports, take note, they have the Seraphine and the Sona. So they don't want to fight this 5v5 without Power available for their team. So pretty much I think it's just the Murmur Esports taking that mistake as an opportunity against Fennel University, taking them down, and now they secured 2 dragons in their favor.
I really like this. This is them picking a fight. Baron though is already up. Now you have the barrels coming through. At the very least, it was not stolen by Fennel Adversity. They, of course, no one's gonna go over to the Baron just yet. They will most likely just fight. Shaw is separated, so no ultimates, no shockwave that is gonna come through from this Oriana. Mirmo already giving the Baron a start. Final is right there. Power making his way at the front. That is with the sun connecting, but now you have Power just forced to pop his protocol just to be safe. Now you have the Anchor connecting onto 2, but there is no follow-up. One ultimate down. You also have the Shadow being taken out. That is gonna be the shockwave coming through. Here comes Pantheon. Olaf being bursted down. Corky saying goodbye as well. Mimo being grouped together. Gragas being taken down. Power is the next target. Will he be taken? That is gonna be a yes, no, maybe, yes. Kill going over to Kaisa. You have the heals coming through. You have the speed boost coming through as well. And Mirma will be able to get that fight 4-0 plus a possible Baron.
Unkillable Kaisa!
Will Shaw be able to survive? That is gonna be a no. That is gonna be the ace going over to Mirmo. I was about to ask, where is Emperor? Apparently, the camera panned. He just wants to give that ace to his team.
Right, he's just the skirmisher while the rest of the team goes for the Baron Dasher. Just had that security onto his objective, puts them in a very good lead. Not just in gold, not just in dragon, but also in lane pressure. Because now they can just punish Fennel Adversity. Fennel Adversity right now is making so much mistakes on getting that 5v5 in. Get that one pick up for Murmur Esports. Now they're done after because they are at the numbers disadvantage. They do not remember that Murmur is on Seraphine and Wura is on Sona. And Unkillable Kaisa is just unkillable, if that makes sense, because it's the name states itself. Right? This is the healing building composition that Murmur Esports has stated a while ago in their interview. They have practiced and it's now showing in this game too.
Apparently, Olaf pick for their unkillable comp is not in Mirmo's plan. It's working out really well on this Kai side. It's gonna be handled by Yaohan. Now 12 minutes in, they have the gold lead. They also have the kill count lead as well. Tower takedown, it's gonna be 4-3, but you also have 2 dragons being taken, being secured by Mirmo. They could even get the third one if if they allow it. But looks like FENNEL, it is going to be a no. They are just going to make their way at the Dragon Spit just as quickly. It is going to be a Mountain Drake, so it's going to be all about those shields, all about those sustains. They need to wait for Mirmo to jump in first, but you literally have four champions that can go with the initiate. Even if there's one or two ultimates down, you have to be careful of the CCs that is gonna come through after. And I like how Mirmo is being protected this time around. Doming is amount of damage that is gonna be the shockwave connecting onto the ground, onto no one. You also have the onward connecting onto one. That is gonna be them being able to isolate Doming. Oh no, not Doming. You have Power. Power is just forced to jump out. Power being taken down. That is gonna be FENNEL University forcing themselves to just go back. They were not able to get anything in that fight.
It's an enormous position for FENNEL University. I think Power was overextending in that bush. Maybe he was thinking FENNEL University will come through in that 5v5 team fight. But remember, MIRM000000 Esports just has so much in that 5v5 team clashes that needs to be respected, that needs to be feared against, because MIRM000000 right now is stacking with a lot of things. Also, something to take note from FENNEL University, only Danny has the grievous wounds onto the executioner's calling. Pretty much everyone is building onto damage, is building onto maybe defensive capabilities, but I think this would not be enough, because Danny is sort of the short-range, mid-range type of champion, and the Gatling gun is probably the only AoE damage that he can provide for the team, aside from maybe the Valkyrie and the special delivery. And if that doesn't connect, no grievous wounds will come through. And MIRM000000 and Wura has that radius that is so much HP for his team that they don't really care with that grievous wounds with Danny alone. So I think FENNEL University needs to build onto maybe another grievous wounds item, maybe the Bramble Vest, maybe the not Trinity Force, maybe the Torn Mail for one of the front liners for FENNEL University, especially maybe Power, because he's just so aggressive in this game. So I think having Power come in face first in this matchup in the next team fight with the Grievous Wounds can have that initial decrease in HP regen for MIRM000000 Esports.
High notes being popped in there, but you have Power just focusing on Emperor. That's the big killer instinct coming through from Kaisa. Will they be able to get a kill? That is going to be a yes. Here comes XZXP jumping in with the Cataclysm. One important ultimate down, but you still have two ultimates at the side. The jump is not going to connect. FENNEL, they are still going to push their chances. This is going to be a 4-5 fight. Let's see who will be able to survive this. Corky still has the Missile Barrage. Shaw still has that Shockwave. They can give this a try, but MIRM000000 Esports are going to focus on getting Baron. I believe they should just take a step back, allow the Baron to be on reset, but they actually later let it go. You have the Baron coming through. Grant is being bursted down. Red team has taken the Baron Nash, and now that is going to be them being able to jump away with smiles on their faces. But three champions are actually taken down. You have the Undertow connecting. You have the Flash coming through. Stuns are there as well. He was forced to pop. Valkyrie also popping in with the Gatling gun. Will he be able to survive? That's going to be no killing spree going over to J4. That's going to be a tag team against Olaf. Killing spree going over to MIRM000000.
They're just delaying the inevitable. Because FENNEL University, yes, he got the Baron Nashor, but it was only on Doming and Danny. And they were on enemy territory, so MIRM000000 Esports punished that. So right now, they're down into 12 kills against MIRM000000 Esports. MIRM000000 already has 3 Dragon buffs. Their scaling potential is top-notch in this game number 2. And I think this is MIRM000000 Esports' game. I think they can bring it into game number 3, especially if they can secure the Elder Dragon. Their sustainability will skyrocket from 0 to 100.
Yeah, that's true. Also, the lineup of MIRM000000 is all about that late game. It screams late game. If we're gonna look at the time right now, it's 16 minutes. Kinda counts as late game here in Wild Drift, but yeah, patience really paying off for MIRM000000 here. FENNEL, they are just forced to get the scraps, at least try and make something out of nothing, because if you can see, MIRM000000, they're very comfortable, they're very confident, they start team fights, they start skirmishes, whereas FENNEL is just forced to respond or dance to MIRM000000 Esports' music. High Note is going to be able to clear the wave then and there, and the Drake is now up. That is the Elder Ocean Drake available. Power just needs one good upper hand. Shaw just needs to get one good shockwave. XD XP. I thought he is gonna overextend, but that is gonna be the shockwave not connecting. Here comes Killer Instinct power being taken. He is forced to flash out, but that is not gonna be enough. -1 for Final Adversity. You also have the jump in coming through from XT. XP Encore is gonna connect onto 1. You have the charms coming through. Here comes Franklin as well. No one is dying just yet, but you know what? Your Ariana does get bursted down. Rampage coming through for the Seraphine, and it is gonna be a possible free Elder Ocean Drake for Mirmu. B-Job connecting, Stunts connecting, Gragas flashing out. You also have Danny forced to use the Valkyrie to survive. Missile Barrage is gonna come through as well. Is it gonna be a reset? No? Okay, you have the stun coming through from Pantheon yet again. Danny trying to go with the steal, but it's not gonna be enough because he is being taken care of Bay by this Pantheon.
I think that should have been Danny going for the retreat. Because they have to consider that Power and Shaw was not alive for 30 more seconds, for 40 more seconds. And remember, esports can punish.
Ooh, that is going to be Olaf forcing the Ragnarok to escape, also being able to use the flash, and almost a 10k gold lead, almost in favor of Mirmo. They have a lot in their side of the map. Look at this: 4 dragons, 5 turrets, the gold lead, and the next one is going to be Baron. Most likely they're going to get this through. And if you're going to look at the optimizations, Seraphine and Sona, they're online. They are ready. You also have Emperor being very comfortable at this point of the game. Mirmo is gonna try to scout someone there, and they did scout Power yet again. He does have ultimate. He is gonna try to use Ghost, but it's not gonna be enough because he still gets bursted down by of course, the mages. The damage is gonna hurt a lot at this point in the map. Shaw is usually isolated, usually far away from his team. I'm not sure why they're not including Orianna in their fights. XP just chasing down Rafe. Please do not overextend. My heart can take this. Now that is gonna be Mirmo focusing on the mid lane turret. Corki popping in with a Gatling gun. No follow-ups. No one being taken down just yet. Baron is up, and Mirmo, they could try and get an objective or a pick-off. They are gonna go with the pick-off. Rafe saying goodbye. Force his pass before he gets taken down.
Right, and MIRM0000 Esports, with those 2 kills onto Power and Graphy, they can now pressure into the Baron Nashor and finish this game overall. The lane control looks into the mid lane, and you have Pantheon just zoning out the enemy team and clearing out the wave as well. So pretty much, if they get this, this is over for FENNEL Adversity. Graphy is gone. This is a 5v4 for MIRM0000 Esports, and I think with the Baron Nashor, this game is over.
That is true. My question here though is there any other chance? Is there any other way that FENNEL can come back from this? No? Okay. Infinity already gave me the answer before I can even finish the question. But there's that. But yeah, I know Mirmo, they have such a lead right now. Same lead that FENNEL had way back in game number 1. If ever though, I have to still be open with a chance with the comeback from FENNEL if they win the next 2 clashes. Because if we're gonna take the death timers into consideration, FENNEL can just storm the mid lane. But the pokes, the damage, the CCs, they have to come through before they can even reach Yaohan, before they can even try and make something happen. It's gonna be hella difficult.
But it's gonna be so difficult.
We also have XP coming in with the Catholics. We also have Phantom with the Grand Starfall, Skyfall, Red Team Tower being taken down. That is going to be Gragas exploding right at their faces. We also have an Adversity. They had no other choice. They are going back. Power not being able to do anything, and that is going to be Mirmo.